Hey guys, welcome back to another Driving Empire video. So, about a month ago, I made this video called the top 5 cars that I've grown to dislike / hate from Driving Empire, and I recommend you check that out. But basically, in that video, I discovered cars that I'd grown to hate due to Driving Empire experiences, and at the end of that video, I agreed that I would make a follow-up to that called the top 5 cars I've grown to love through Driving Empire, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. So what counts as a car that I've grown to love through the games is anything that I've actually started to like through my experiences from Driving Empire. So for example, like let's say I got this car and it started performing really good and it won me some very important races. That type of car, like let's say I grew to love that after that, I would put that car on the list. It's anything that I didn't really care about or didn't like before, and then thanks to Driving Empire loved, will just be added on this list. So yeah, now that we got the fundamentals out of the way, I guess we should get right into it. Starting off our list at number 5 is the Ferrari 812 Superfast. So the Ferrari 812, I mean, this might surprise some, but to be fair, it is a car that I've grown to love through Wait For. But like, since Wait For is just the older Driving Empire, I guess they count as the same game. But anyways, the main reason that I really just grew to love this car is because of the looks. I remember when I first picked it up, the only reason I bought it is because I thought it looked really hot, and that was like a choice and decision that I never regretted afterwards. Because I mean, like, to be honest, like I don't think you can go wrong with me on the fact that this thing looks so good. Like, I mean, it is a beautiful looking car, and like I remember, like I tried out every color in it, like drove it like literally every day. Like the thing about it, it just looks good in every color. Honestly, like there is not one color that this car looks bad in, and like it is just a really nice car. Like I know I keep repeating myself, but I have to make that clear. And second of all, the car it was broken at the time that I first used it. Like acceleration wise, it was really quick. I think it was even better than the 488 pistol, and nobody knew about how good this car was, because like I remember at some point I even beat like several hypercars. Like I beat a Speedtail with this in V4, and I almost beat a Chiron. So it is just a really good car, and just because of Driving Empire, I grew to respect it. Following up at number 4 is the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ 63. So I don't know where to get started, but there are so many reasons to why I love this car. But I mean, one thing off the bat, it's just this thing looks incredible. Like one common trend between all these cars are just the looks. Like I don't think you can get me wrong with this either. Like it looks so good, and the best part about the SVJ is that it looks good in almost every spec. Like there is not one spec that will look bad in this car unless you did like so disgusting, like purple or green. But I mean, I don't think you can disagree with me on this one. It's so hot. And then at second, this thing is a convertible. I mean, I don't know if many people are like me, but like to me, I'm just a big fan of convertible cars. Like if a car's a convertible, or if you can take the roof up and down, it gets a whole new point in my book. So I mean, I really just love this car for those two main reasons. And then there are also the side reasons. This car is incredibly good performance wise. Like at its time and it made its debut, it was the best circuit car, and it still is up there to this day. So for value, in terms of value for money, this car is just incredible. I mean, I've talked about this so much, but I mean that's just a reoccurring point that's just always there. But I mean, like I don't think you can really get me wrong though. This car is just incredible. There's so much to this car. It's so fun to drive. It looks good. It performs good. Like it's just a good car. So because of that, it's made number 4 in my list. At number 3, we have the Koenigsegg CCXR edition. So to be honest, I haven't really loved this car as much lately. Like I started to forget about it. But anyways, when this car made its debut, like back when I heard about it, I didn't really care about the CCXR edition. I mean, I just knew it was there, and like that's it. Like I had literally no opinion on it. But after the drop of Driving Empire, when I actually was able to get this car, because like I had the CCX and like I just got this showing up in my garage. But ever since I got to try it out, I just really been a big fan. Like number 1, I really like how this thing looks. Like it looks pretty nice. Like just something about it, especially in red with that spoiler and everything. And then like second of all, it is a convertible car, so like I can't say no to that. And next, it is a really smooth car to drive, and I did find myself daily driving this car pretty often. So it is a car I've used a lot, and I've really just grown to respect this car. Like because before I literally did not care that it existed, but like every time I see this, I do respect this car now. So I decided, like, because I've really just grown to respect this a lot more than I did before, I figured it deserved number 3 in this list. At number 2 we have the Aston Martin Vulcan. So there are actually a good amount of reasons to why I love this car, and I mean, to name a few, this was actually the first car I've ever reviewed on this channel. It was back in before Roblox, and the video I made on this car was fairly successful actually at the time, and I was able to get like 100 views when I was used to receiving like 30 to 50. So that was the first reason. The second reason, I really love how this car looks, especially in the rain and driving Empire. Like, there's something so nice about it, and I don't know why, I really like it. And another perk of the Vulcan, it just looks good in almost every color. Like even lime green doesn't look too bad on the Aston Martin Vulcan. So like it's just a good looking car overall, and it just fits every spec that you would put on it. And lastly, the Aston Martin Vulcan was the car that carried us to the victory in our AMG versus Aston Martin event, and I recommend you watch that if you haven't already. Sorry for the spoiler, but it was a fun video. So I mean, due to those main reasons, I've grown to love this car, and it is in fact my favorite car at the moment. I mean, it's not just driving Empire that's really influenced me to like it, but since it is my favorite car, I decided to give it a really high spot at second place in this list. So before we actually get into number 1, I did also want to mention 2 honorable mentions. So first honorable mention is the McLaren Senna GTR, and the main reason I've just really grown to love this car was thanks to the fact that driving Empire made it the best circuit car, and at some point it was able to hit like 69 seconds, and I set my all-time record using the McLaren Senna GTR. And second of all, the McLaren Senna GTR is actually extremely rare, and it boasts like a lot of flex. Like whenever I'm in a car show, I always pull this car out, and I see this car as like my go-to car sometimes when I just want a daily drive. So I really just have grown attached to the McLaren Senna GTR, and I've grown to enjoy it too. And the only reason it isn't like any higher in this list is because I already really just did like the McLaren Senna GTR before it made its debut in driving Empire, but like now I just really going to love it. But yeah, at the next honorable mention we have the Buick Grand National, and the main reason I just grown to love this is due to just so many positive experiences with this car. I mean, I've had a good laugh just driving it, and if you didn't notice, the Buick Grand National is probably driving Empire's best drift car at the moment, in my opinion, because like it's just so easy to drift, and it's really smooth and everything. So it is a fun car to drive. It is very quirky, it looks nice, and it's big flex too. So I don't think you can really say no to this one too. And yeah, that's gonna be our second honorable mention. Alright guys, so at number 1 in our list is the Ferrari LaFerrari, and this car right here might be one of the most surprising entries to most of my regular viewers. And the main reason I've just really grown to love this car is actually for a pretty dumb reason. It's just because I've grown obsessed with how this car looks. And I do remember lots of people were pretty upset that this car got remeshed from the Aperta just back to a regular older LaFerrari mesh. But I'm one of those dudes who actually really appreciated that for whatever reason. And I don't know why, I just love how this car looks. And ever since I had a reason to buy it, like for the video, I actually started using it like every single day. I love how this car looks. I'm just so obsessed, and like I've literally just played driving Empire only to drive this car around for like 5 minutes. I really love how this car looks, and I think that's gonna be pretty repetitive in this list, just the looks. But like this thing, I don't know why, I like it a lot. But I mean, to be fair though, if we did this list like a week later or something, I'm pretty sure like I probably would have grown old with this car. But I mean, at the moment it is like the main car that I daily drive in driving Empire. Like I might probably pull out another car every once in a while, but for most of the time I'll always be just driving this around for no reason whatsoever. So because of that, I think this car deserves number 1. Alright guys, so that finishes off our list of the top 5 cars that I've grown to love. So make sure to comment down below if you agree or disagree with my opinions. Make sure you also comment down below your top 5 cars that you've grown to love. And yeah, make sure you also drop a like if you find this video entertaining, enjoyable, or informative, or any of that good stuff. And feel free to subscribe too, as we're trying to hit 4K subs by the end of this summer. So any subscriptions would be pretty appreciated. And you can also join the Discord server if you want to meet the WTJC gaming community, and if you want to get a chance to talk with me. that's all out there for you to do. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.